Assalāmu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the chain of truth in Islam. Today we are going to delve into a powerful secret, a secret that directly touches the heart of every believer, the recitation of the Ya Wadoud 141 times for 7 days. But before we begin, I have a question for you. Have you ever felt an emptiness in your heart despite your prayers? Have you ever sought a deep connection with Allah, a connection that transforms your soul? If you want to discover this inner light and experience a spiritual transformation, subscribe to the Truth in Islam channel. Like this video, share it, and leave your comments and suggestions so that we may continue to explore the wisdom and secrets of Islam together. Today, we will explore how this dhikr, this supplication, can touch your heart, purify your soul, and open doors of blessing in your life. We will draw inspiration from the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Qur'an, and the stories of righteous predecessors. Ya Wadoud resonates like a sweet and deep melody that penetrates every fiber of the soul, a call to feel the infinite and pure love of Allah, the one who loves without limits, the one whose love surpasses all that the human mind can conceive. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a love that knows no failure, no rejection, no conditions. A love that heals invisible wounds, envelops broken hearts in comforting warmth, and guides your steps in the darkness like a light that never fades. Ya Wadoud is not just a name to be spoken, it is an invitation to enter into the intimacy of the Creator, to feel the closeness of the one who knows the secrets of our souls better than we know ourselves. Allah reminds us in the Qur'an, "And my servant, whoever fears me, I will grant him whatever he desires and send down my mercy upon him." Al-Araf 7:56. And these words are not empty promises, but realities accessible to the one who opens himself to the depth of dhikr. In a world where love is often bargained for, where hearts seek recognition and affection in fragile human embraces, how many of us realize that true love is within reach, but that it is found beyond appearances in the infinite light of Allah? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Allah is the most loving, and He loves those who do good," reminding us that divine love is not distant, but manifests itself through our sincere actions, our pure intentions, and our constant search for closeness with Him. As you pronounce Ya Wadoud, let each syllable penetrate your heart, let it dissolve your fears, your grudges, your insecurities, and observe how divine love begins to transform your perception of yourself and others. Imagine your relationships softening, your doubts becoming clear, and a sense of peace expanding in your chest. For dhikr is not just a mechanical recitation, it is a connection, a spiritual breathing that nourishes the soul and inner elevation. Reflect for a moment. How often do we chase a love that never satisfies us in temporary embraces or fleeting glances, when true love, the kind that heals and uplifts, is waiting to be recognized and invoked by this simple divine name? Ya Wadoud is a key that opens the door to intimacy with the Creator, a door that each of us can enter right now, without waiting, simply through the sincerity of our hearts and the depth of our intentions. By reciting this name, we begin to feel a form of inner healing, a reconciliation with ourselves, with the world, and above all with Allah, the loving one par excellence, the one whose benevolent gaze follows every movement, every thought, every sigh of the soul. And in this inner silence, in this deep connection, you realize that human love is only a reflection of this divine love, that every smile, every gesture of kindness, every sincere act becomes an echo of Ya Wadoud, a bridge between your heart and the heart of the one who never refuses, who always envelops and draws to himself all souls who seek him with sincerity. Imagine a journey where each day becomes a conscious walk towards the inner light, where every breath, every thought, every word spoken with sincerity becomes an offering to the one who is the origin and the end. It is in this framework that the Dhikr of Ya Wadoud, recited 141 times over 7 days, takes on its full meaning, not as a simple mechanical repetition, but as a ritual of transformation and purification that puts the heart in resonance with divine love. Why 141 times, you may ask? Each number is never chosen at random in the wisdom of Islam. 141 symbolizes persistence, discipline, and the intensity of the search for closeness to Allah. A number that pushes the believer not to be satisfied with superficiality, but to delve into the depths of his soul to extract sincerity and total surrender. And why 7 days? Because the entire week is a sacred cycle of renewal, a time offered to the soul to detach itself from its habits, to purify itself of the invisible residues of stress, fear, or resentment, and to reconnect with the Creator. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this secret. A pious predecessor, a humble servant of Allah, engaged in this dhikr with impeccable consistency, reciting Ya Wadoud 141 times each day without ever faltering. On the 3rd day, he felt his heart lighter, as if the invisible weight of worry began to dissolve. On the 5th day, his human relationships, previously strained and fragile, seemed to warm naturally. And by the 7th day, a deep and lasting peace had settled over his being, a serenity that no human words could describe, for it came from a place beyond ordinary comprehension. This story is not merely an inspiration. It is a reminder that consistency and sincerity in dhikr attract Allah's mercy, often in forms we cannot foresee. And now ask yourself these questions. What would change in your life if you could feel Allah's loving presence every day, if every decision, every breath, and every emotion were accompanied by His benevolent gaze and infinite love? Would you be willing to dedicate 7 days of your life to experience this transformation, to open your heart to a light that even the most intense experiences of this world cannot provide? Imagine that each repetition of the sacred name, each conscious utterance of Ya Wadoud, becomes like a drop of water on a dry stone. Over time, this consistency releases a stream of spiritual blessings, a silent and powerful renewal that begins from within and extends to every aspect of your existence. This process is not instantaneous, for true spirituality is an art of patience, discipline, and surrender. Each day of recitation is a commitment to oneself, to Allah, and to the inner path we have chosen, a path where every whispered word becomes a key, every breath becomes a bridge, and every heartbeat becomes an echo of divine love that never falters. And when you reach the 7th day, what you discover is not just the disappearance of anxiety or the improvement of relationships, but the revelation of a profound peace, a renewed state of consciousness, where your soul finally recognizes the constant and loving presence of Allah, a state that worldly riches and fleeting successes can never offer, for it belongs to the realm of infinite light and mercy. To practice the dhikr of Ya Wadoud authentically and profoundly, it is essential to create a sacred space, a haven of tranquility where nothing will disturb your connection with the divine. Choose a quiet place, whether it is a silent room at home, a quiet corner in nature, or even the moment of solitude just before dawn, when the world is still asleep and silence seems to breathe with you. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a moment to center yourself, to detach your mind from the concerns of everyday life, as if leaving behind a bag full of doubts and worries in order to create space for Allah's infinite love to enter and envelop your being. Then begin with a clear and sincere intention, an inner act of devotion. Say in your heart, I recite Ya Wadoud to draw closer to Allah and purify my heart, and let these words become more than just a sentence. Feel them vibrate in every cell, every breath, every beat of your heart. When you begin the recitation, repeat the sacred name 141 times every day, but don't focus on the number alone. Focus on the depth of each syllable, on the inner resonance that emanates from the name of the loving one, the one whose pure love can heal all distress. Imagine each utterance as a wave that comes to caress the shores of your soul, washing away fatigue, fear, and tension, leaving behind a sea of peace and spiritual clarity. Then visualize Allah's love enveloping you like a soft, comforting light that penetrates your shoulders, your hands, your chest, and even your most hidden thoughts, as if every fiber of your being is illuminated by His loving presence. This visualization transforms Dhikr into a complete sensory experience, where the sound of the name, the rhythm of the breath, and the image of divine love merge to create a vivid and profound meditation. The Qur'an reminds us, "And call upon me, and I will answer you." Surah Ghafir 40:60. And these words should resonate in your mind like a living promise. Every sincere invocation, even a silent one, attracts Allah's response, sometimes in the form of subtle inner peace, sometimes through unexpected and wonderful blessings in your daily life, signs that you are beginning to feel His closeness and love. Feel how Dhikr becomes an invisible thread between your heart and the one who knows your needs even before you articulate them. Allow this moment to last, to repeat itself, to deepen your awareness, and observe how consistency in this practice transforms not only your emotional and spiritual state, but also your way of perceiving the world around you. With each passing day, 141 repetitions become not only a discipline, but a ritual of rebirth, a space where the heart is purified, the soul is regenerated, and the believer begins to perceive Allah's love as a permanent flow that supports, guides, and calms all inner storms. This dhikr, practiced with sincerity, then becomes more than a simple act of devotion. It becomes a transformative experience, an inner journey where every breath, every vibration, and every thought is imbued with the light of the One who is infinitely loving and merciful. When you regularly recite Ya Wadoud, you are not just uttering a sacred name. You are opening the door to a subtle yet powerful inner transformation, a metamorphosis of the soul that begins in the deepest layers of your heart and slowly spreads to every aspect of your life. Each repetition becomes like a drop of light falling on the dark corners of your being, dissolving resentment, anger, and any wounds the world may have inflicted on your heart. Imagine those old, heavy emotions dissolving under a beam of pure light, leaving behind a space of clarity, peace, and serenity where forgiveness and gratitude can finally take root. But that's not all. This dhikr also attracts divine love into your human relationships, as if your heart became a magnet for compassion, mercy, and kindness. Words become softer, gestures more attentive, and even the glances you exchange with others take on a newfound patience and tenderness, for when your own heart is filled with the love of Allah, it naturally radiates outward. Trust in Allah grows exponentially, and you discover a patience you never suspected you had, an ability to accept trials with serenity, to welcome challenges as means of purification and growth, rather than as insurmountable obstacles. Imagine your heart filled with this light, a light that heals all your past wounds, erases regrets, and soothes fears while illuminating invisible paths to the future. Each recitation becomes a vibration that touches not only your inner being, but shapes your perception of the external world, transforming the way you interact with loved ones, colleagues, and even those who have wronged you. In this practice, dhikr ceases to be a mere recitation and becomes a silent but living dialogue with Allah, where each word spoken with sincerity opens invisible doors to blessings that escape the human eye, but are felt deep in the heart and soul. You begin to notice that obstacles, once insurmountable, seem lighter. Misunderstandings are resolved more easily, and relationships, sometimes fragile, are enriched with new depth. The Dhikr of Ya Wadoud acts as a spiritual balm, but also as a catalyst for positive energy, inner strength, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. You feel an intimate connection with the Creator, an intimacy that transforms your prayers and thoughts into moments of awakening and continuous purification. And in this process, the soul learns to detach itself from superficial and ephemeral needs, to nourish itself with the divine light, and to radiate this light around it. Visualize yourself enveloped in this energy of love and peace, each repetition of Ya Wadoud, strengthening this presence, this spiritual aura that protects, uplifts, and heals, while opening invisible paths to success, happiness, and harmony. Thus, the regular practice of this dhikr transforms everyday life into a sacred experience, where every gesture, every breath, every thought becomes a silent offering to the one who is the loving, the most merciful, and where the soul, purified and soothed, begins to taste the eternal serenity that only Allah can offer. The Dhikr Ya Wadoud, 141 times for 7 days, is not only a practice, it is a door to love and closeness to Allah. Start with sincerity, persevere, and observe the inner transformation. Final questions for meditation. How would your life change if divine love guided every decision you made? Are you ready to experience this secret today and share your experience with others? Remember, subscribe to Truth in Islam. Like this video, share it with your loved ones, and leave your comments and suggestions to continue exploring the secrets of Islam together. May the peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you.